We're here today with John from Tang & Partners to talk about employee wages and social insurance. How are you doing, John?
I'm well, thank you, Isabelle.
Great. So what is the wage for a Shanghai employee?
You're talking about minimum wage?
Yes.
Minimum wage across China normally increases every year on April 1st, so employers need to be mindful at that time of year that their wage structures are compliant with the law. Currently in Shanghai, the minimum wage is renminbi 1820, which is an hourly rate of renminbi 17.
What are the social insurance requirements on the Shanghai wages?
On Shanghai wages. So across China, Chinese employees are entitled to 5 social insurances, that being retirement, medical, maternity, work-related injury, and unemployment. So for a Shanghai employee, say for example their wage is renminbi 5,000, the employer must contribute 37% on top of that wage to those social insurance funds I just mentioned. The employee must contribute 11% of their salary into those social insurance funds.
Okay, and is there something else besides social insurance that employers must pay?
Yeah, there's also the housing fund. So in that case, the employer must contribute 7% based on the employee's salary into the housing fund, and also the employee must contribute 7% of their salary into that housing fund.
Okay. Have you seen companies try to get around paying social insurance and the housing fund fee?
Of course. Employers here are always trying to mitigate their labour costs. Some go about it in a lawful way, others go about it in an unlawful way. One method of mitigating social insurance costs in Shanghai is hiring a foreign employee, because foreign employees are not subject to the social insurance laws in China. Obviously, it has to be a job suitable for a foreign employee. There's a great use of allowances in China, meal allowances, transport, these kind of things, where employees collect invoices, give those invoices to the company, and the company then gives them cash. Those allowances are included in the salary, which calculates the social insurance contribution. One method companies here can use, if it's structured in the right way, is making those company expenses. So not allowances, but company expenses, where the company pays for it up front. The invoices are in the company name, and so no cash is exchanged hands between the employer and the employee. So if you can persuade your employees to adopt this method, then that's one way to mitigate social insurance costs.
And in order to restructure your company like that, who would you advise getting in touch with?
We have experience advising clients on salary structuring, how to do it in a lawful way so they can mitigate their labour costs, and in particular social insurance costs, which obviously rise year on year.
Any closing remarks?
I think a lot of, in particular, foreign employers are not aware how significant social insurance costs are when they first come to China. So they need to be mindful of this when they're structuring their salaries. Those costs increase year on year, so there needs to be a certain amount of forecasting done to see how that's going to affect their business in the coming years. Labour inspection teams in Shanghai are very quick to audit, in particular foreign companies, about their social insurance obligation and whether they're observing those obligations. So if you or your company is given an audit notice that the labour inspection team is going to come in to audit your company, I would strongly advise you calling a firm such as Tang & Partners to get advice before that audit takes place.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.